What's up, everyone? I just came back from the Paldea Evolve pre-release event. It is actually the first live event that I've ever done. I've never been to a pre-release event, but there was one near me, so I decided to check it out and see how that went. I understood at least that well, I guess it depends on what your local offers, but my local is offering you could buy the pre-release kit without having to do a tournament. They had a tournament, and also you can just buy them straight without having to do a tournament. If you did the tournament, everyone got at least 4 booster packs extra, so I participated in the tournament. I've never done in-person tournaments in my life. I've only played the TCG live, so I at least understood how Pokemon worked. But yeah, that was my first in-person event I've ever been to. So it was fun. I really loved the event. There was probably at least I'd say there was like 15 people there. I'm sure there were probably a lot more for the release of Scarlet and Violet. But yeah, it was a pretty good turnout, and I'm here to talk about the deck that I was using at the event. I went 1-2, unfortunately, because either my cards were not great, or I just had horrible draw power, and it could just be a combination of both, to be honest. So, the deck that I came with had, Baxcalibur and Tinkaton. That was the setup. My promo was a Tinkaton. So that's what we were working around with, and, let's go ahead and just set this all down for the time being, and we'll just talk about this. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I think I really do like pre-release events a lot more, just because everyone starts on the same level. Basically, you're stuck with a deck, and you have to figure out a way to make it work. Basically, which I think is pretty great. So I'm just kind of spreading out the cards that I use. This is not all these are the same cards that came with it. Some stuff was added in, obviously. But yeah, I mean, looking back at it now, there's probably some things I could have changed to make it a little bit easier for pulling. But my strategy was just basically hopefully pull Love Disc first and open up with Love Disc or with Tauros, perhaps. Water Tauros, perhaps, in hopes of, like, either stalling with Love Disc's ability or start getting hits in with Tauros. I think the better deck was probably the one with the bug. I don't remember the bug. A bug basically, like, if you evolve the Pokemon and they're in the active, you can do 100 damage or something on the first hit or something if they just evolve, something like that. So yeah, we were doing Baxcalibur, heavy on water. What I did manage to pull was if I can find it, like a ton of water energies. I feel like we should have gotten more water energy. This Luminous Energy came with it. And then the Q-Font and Copperjaw. Copperjaw was one of the ones I did manage to pull. So this was the deck that I ended up using from what I had. I think I dumped a couple of trainer cards. Like, I didn't use Grusha that came with it, I think. There were a couple other cards that I just didn't go with. I should have probably gone with... Where is that one energy that I had? Trying to find this energy. There, I think I had the Jet Energy. I'm pretty sure I had a Jet Energy. Did I pull a Jet Energy? No, I guess I did not. So I had... Mine came with Giacomo and also a Youngster and a Grusha. So that was my set, I believe. So I did not... So yeah, basically it was the Baxcalibur Tinkaton deck. So when I was pulling from the 4 packs, I was hoping to get, like, a lot of water, or at least a lot of Pokemon that had lots of colorless or something like that. So this was the deck I ended up working with, and I'm gonna be honest, I think what I should have done was remove one of the Psychic Energies and add another Steel if I'm going to use the Copperjaw. Basically, what I was hoping for one of the strats I could have done, I open up with Love Disc. Love Disc has an ability that basically puts the active Pokemon to sleep. So it's a staller, basically. It's a good early or late game staller, basically, was trying to do, and that way I could start setting up. Problem was, I wasn't pulling what I wanted to pull. So, like, I look at all these water energies. I would never get any of the water energies I need. I would just get something else. So, and the strategy with Copperjaw was, if Copperjaw was out, Copperjaw is basically late game, guy to set up, and Copperjaw would, like, if every time I hit, I would 2 damage on Tauros, because Tauros' ability, Raging Horns, does 10 more damage for each damage on him. So, that was the strat I was going for. And then Tinker Tongue and Bascalibur were basically just putting energies and it was just draw power on here. I didn't have anything that could, like, switch, and I thought I had a jet energy, but I guess I didn't, so this was... unfortunately, I never pulled this. This never showed up, and yeah, I think it would have been better if I just I don't know if it was a good idea, honestly. I probably just, like, take one of each and only just have one Tinker Tongue in the deck, because Tinker Tongue really isn't doing much attacking, honestly. Or I just remove this energy, add another steel energy, because that way Tinker Tongue can technically do an attack if I get the luminous energy, but I didn't have enough draw power to ever pull it, unfortunately, so I had, superior energy retrieval to pull energy from the discard pile, which, looking back at it, might be better if I just had one superior energy retrieval and replace it with something else. I did have a Super Rod, so that was very good. We had... So Nest Ball, obviously. Nest Ball came with the deck. I had Faulkner for drawing. Where's the other? So Dendra was another draw. Pneumonia. So yeah, I had a lot of draw power, but I just never drew the cards that I needed, unfortunately. So, and then a Great Ball was just my Ultra Ball. Like, the closest thing to an Ultra Ball for me to, like, grab something, because I didn't get an Ultra Ball in my set. My set didn't come with Boss's Orders or anything like that. So, like, the other decks I saw were, I think, the United Wings set with the birds, and then another, I don't know, I think the one with the bug I was telling you about that does, like, the big kick if you evolve it and attack on the same turn with it. So yeah, this was basically the deck, and This was really the MVP, because, like, it did its job. It was stalling. Unfortunately, I just had really bad draw power and just couldn't get the cards I needed to set up while I was stalling. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to just talk about my experience with it. It was a lot of fun. It's definitely an event. If your locals is doing the event with the what is it? If your locals doing an event having a tournament, it's a great way to, like, actually learn how to play the game, honestly, because you have a smaller deck. So you're not having to utilize a full-on 60 deck, and you only have 4 prizes to work with. So, like, they're really quick matches, basically. I'm trying to find the other cards I initially wanted to use in my deck, but I ended up just not changing my mind on it. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Alright, so these were the other cards I was looking at using. He's not sleeve, but there was also I had a Gyarados Magikarp combo too. Like, this Gyarados was the thing I was considering as well, just because, but I don't know. Maybe, honestly, my deck might be working better if we had, like, a full-on 60 deck or 60 card deck or something like that. Maybe. Oh, here it is, the Jet Energy. Oh my god, this Jet Energy probably could have helped me, honestly. I could have maybe discarded a Psychic, added a Jet Energy in, because then it's easier, it's my only one way to, like, freely swap Pokemon. So that's probably a card I could have swapped in on the Psychic Energy or something like that. The other strategy I had initially started before I used Copperjaw was Grafai and Shrudo, because it's really hard to do swaps with these pre-made decks. I can, like, poison the active Pokemon and just slowly wither them down. So, like, it's another like annoyer, just like Love Disc. And then I had Artazon up too, which basically allowed me and the opponent to look for basic Pokemon on, their turn. Would love for this to load. That'd be nice. So yeah, it doesn't let you pick up basic Pokemon, but I ended up removing that because I'd rather focus on more draw power, and I at least 2 cards that let me look for Pokemon, so I didn't think it was needed. I pretty much only had it so I can use Falkner's, like, second part of his ability, which was, like, it lets you draw 2 more cards if you have a stadium in play. And I wish this would go and focus. Hello? Please focus. Yep. Alright, there you go. So this was the other initial strategy I had. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. It was very fun. I think I would like to continue to join up for these re-release events if they happen in my area. Because I quite enjoyed the idea of just, like, making your own decks like this. And everyone was on even field. It was great. There was definitely someone else who, like, had no idea how to play either. So, like, definitely very beginner, open, like, new player friendly. So, like, and there were also people who just straight up only played live. So it would be their first time doing live events too. So it was a lot of fun. So I figured I'd just talk about, you know, my experience in case people were ever curious about how those pre-release events happen. Like I said, it's very different depending on what your locals offer. You could have a full-on tournament. They may only be selling the kits without the tournaments, or a combination of both. And another thing I would recommend bringing, because, like, bring sleeves. I just straight up just use my ETB sleeves. That's it. Because, like, I'm just gonna come home and just take them out anyway. So, like, you don't even have to be fancy. If you had, like, some Elite Trainer box sleeves you just had sitting around because, you know, you bought a bunch of ETBs, just use them. So, sleeves. And then also my, you know, little collection of damage counters and dices and stuff, just in case it was, you know, we were in need of them. So yeah, that's what we did. That's pretty much all you really gotta bring, honestly, is just make sure you bring some dice and some damage counters, maybe a coin, but most people these days use dices to do their quote-unquote coin flips. And then some sleeves. The playmat is entirely optional, especially if you already have sleeves, so it's just like, sleeves will keep your cards nice and crispy at base, especially if you're planning to just take them out at the end. And I think that's it, honestly. I don't know, shower? don't come there being stinky, I guess? But yeah, that's it. Like I said, pre-release event, you don't need to bring any decks or anything, just bring, like, damage, dices, and some sleeves, and you're pretty set, honestly. And I guess a place to put your any good cards you managed to pull, which, by the way, I did not do. My pulls were garbage. I literally got 2 Copper Jaws EX, basically. So I pulled 2 from the last 4 packs that I got. I just got another Copper Jaw, and that was it. I didn't get anything else. So yeah, I had pretty bad luck on pulls in general. So, thank you very much for watching. Let me know if this is a kind of video that would interest you guys, but like I don't do a lot of live events, so probably the next time I talk about anything that I'm doing, in, like, live event-wise, it'll probably be the next pre-release that happens if there's an event near me, because, again, I like those. I don't know if I'm actually going to join any tournaments just yet, for reals yet, so we'll see. So, it was a lot of fun. Kind of wish I got the Baxcalibur promo, because I'm planning to do the Baxcalibur Chin Pao deck when Paldea Evolve officially releases, because that deck kind of interests me. But otherwise, yeah, I think you guys can see the intention of my deck, but maybe I just had too much going on with it. But otherwise, it was fun. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Have a good day, wherever you may be.